Hello, this is SALFA. This is the saline farming project in the North Sea region. We have to deal with climate change all over the place, and one of the most important things, threatenings for agriculture these days is drought. So we have to save fresh water while farming, which we are doing here because we are using brackish water from the Wadden Sea. You see that we irrigate our plants here in our experimental field with brackish water, and they are highly salt tolerant, and they are the latest plants we have here to make beautiful dishes out of. This is done by our dear chef Flang in the Pan from the island Terschelling, and he's the most innovative cook from the whole North Sea region, and he will show us later what we are going to do with these plants.
Flang, you're starting with the sea aster. What are you going to do?
Yes, we're gonna prepare it for a lovely meal. Just I pick off the leaves and then further I'm gonna cook it here in my beautiful pan.
I think it's a fantastic product, and together with Salicornia, these are the two, let's say, halophytes, crops that grow into the wild here in the North Sea region.
Yes.
You can find it in the intertidal marshes and so on.
Yeah.
What I find fantastic is that here in Salfar, we're growing it in the fields. So we don't have to go and pick it anymore. We can just use it in the fields that are too saline now.
That's true, yeah.
So this is a ice plant, right?
Ice plant, yeah, that's
So
what we do.
this doesn't grow in the North Sea, but we can find it also in the world. And now we also can grow it here in the North Sea region.
Yep. Yeah, this is for the salad.
Okay.
And this one is as well.
Yeah.
That's what we called salty fingers.
Salty fingers, yeah.
So in Dutch we say
Zoute vingers?
zeebanaan.
Ah, zeebanaan. So like, if I translate literally, sea banana. This is now grown here in Terschelling.
Yep.
By Gerard and Alco and a lot of volunteers.
Volunteers and
And so,
about 10 people are working with us.
fantastic. And so now we get to grow stuff on fields here in Terschelling that basically were too saline to put our conventional crops.
Yep.
Wow, I really love it. So what is the next step in our salad?
It's not really a salad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna cook things, and on the side we have a salad with sea bananas and that ice plant, and also there's a piece of fish,
Yeah.
and seaweed as well, and potatoes.
Ah, but these are fantastic. These sulfur potatoes, we have developed them in our project, and now we get to use them in areas that are flooded by the sea. So like, there are farmers in the Wash area, like Farmer John in the UK. He grows these potatoes in his land just next to the sea, because if ever his land gets flooded, he now gets to keep on cultivating that land. He just keeps to be a farmer.
And different colors here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And
See this is the violet queen. This is a lipstick red.
just looks lovely.
Looks lovely, isn't it?
I mean, and could you ever imagine that this potato, it's grown with brackish water? It's not a sweet water potato. It's basically grown with brackish water.
Sweet water is clear water. What is it?
Fresh water.
Fresh water, yeah. I make crisp of it.
Who doesn't love potato chips? And potatoes are...
Everybody over the whole world, eh?
Yeah. And basically, chips, they're always salty. And with these potatoes, you don't need to salt them anymore.
That's not true.
Ah, damn it.
Just the other way. So they're getting sweeter in salt water.
So the salt-tolerant varieties are actually sweeter because they're grown in salt water.
Yeah. So we salt them with dry saliconia.
Saliconia. So this is what we can usually find in our intertidal marshes, right?
Yep.
I mean, if you go outside and you go to the sea, this would just grow next to the sea.
Yes, not everywhere, but It does, yeah.
What is this?
Taste first and then
Okay.
you say something, right?
That's lovely. That's really great. What is it?
So what do you think you taste?
I taste oysters.
Yes. It's oyster leaf.
Is
Yes,
originally from the North Sea region, or does this come from other parts of Europe?
Other parts of Europe, yeah.
And now we get to grow them in the North Sea region.
Yeah, yeah. I make een vegetarian oyster.
Vegetarian oysters.
Yeah.
And you can't get allergic to these ones.
No.
I keep on eating. So what were we going to do with this sulfur quinoa in our dish?
In our dish, I make vegetarian caviar of it.
Vegetarian caviar.
Yeah.
And this is super healthy food.
Super
I mean,
healthy, yeah.
This is actually all what you need in your type of
Yeah.
food.
And we
Fantastic.
don't have to grow it in South America. You don't need it to fly it to Europe.
So we save on gas mileage or flying crops around the world. We just get to grow it in our own country. We just mitigated a lot of CO2 emissions.
Yeah.
What's that? Okay, I get to taste this as well.
Yes.
This is the best part of sulfur. You just get to eat all the time.
It's beetroot. It's they call it cut beet.
Cut beet, yeah. And this is a crop that actually used to be completely traditional in the sense that we could only cultivate it with fresh water.
Yeah.
And in the sulfur project, we're really trying to develop a way that we can actually grow it with brackish water. I mean, we could even use the sea to irrigate this. I mean, can you imagine the amount of water that we are just reduced, the amount of water demand that we are completely cutting away? We get a taste of the sea in our dish, right? I mean, we get to taste the sea, in our mouths.
Boter.
That just is so lovely.
It's the seaweed spices
Okay.
on the side.
Fantastic. So we also get to grow this throughout our project, right? I mean, we're experimenting with it and we're looking for new ways of using seaweed. We even use it as a fertilizer now for our fields, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, this is my own with seaweed and olives and garlic and olive oil.
I'm looking forward to this dish.
So I'm gonna prepare the salad a little bit on. It's not really a salad. It's on the side for
A side dish.
decoration.
Yep.
It looks like it's frozen, huh?
But it's not frozen, right? This is basically the pearls of taste on the plants.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You can help me.
What can I do?
So pick off the bananas.
I pick off these bananas, these salty fingers. What is so great is we just basically in our field didn't use any fresh water to grow these. We could just basically use the brackish water. Flang. No, don't put it in the salad anymore.
No. Good enough for rock and roll.
Our chips are ready and you spice them with our salty herbs.
Yep.
Fantastic.
There's herbs, there's siliconia.
Salicornia is in there.
Yep.
Also really interesting to know is so like these products, all of this produce, we're testing them in Terschelling, but also in Germany and in Norway, and all these countries, they start to learn from each other.
Yeah.
So within sulfur, we have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, the Netherlands, and the UK, all learning from each other, and also exporting their knowledge to Pakistan and to Bangladesh, where salinization is even much more intensive.
Yes.
Fantastic.
All right.
Next step in our cooking, Flang. Some olive oil, sadly not from the North Sea, but you know.
From olives.
Can I help?
Yes.
Hadden ze? Okay.
Sorry for that.
Oh. Nice. Giving it a little roast. Too bad it's online, otherwise you would have had a nice portion.
First, we start with this lovely tapenade of seaweed.
Our fish.
Yeah, it's already slow cooked.
On top of it.
Yeah.
We have our... And it's super healthy, all of this.
Super, super healthy.
Now we should start also thinking of drinking a nice glass of wine with it, but you know, there's no wine in the North Sea, sadly, or not yet, so something to think about what we can pair this with.
No, maybe we can use a wine from Friesland.
That's possible.
Yeah, and they have they make wine in
Well, they make...
close to the Waddenzee, so they call it the Waadhoek.
And actually,
Little salad on the side.
these spices, they are now also starting to appear much more in supermarkets. So basically, also people can make this at home. You don't need to go to the tidal marshes. You
So-
start to find this in the supermarket. Some nice chips.
Nice crisps.
These are just our fantastic falfa potatoes being developed in nice chips.
Crisps.
Oh, crisps, yeah. Yeah, that's our sea oyster. Our little vegetarian oyster. All of this we can start to cultivate throughout the whole North Sea region and throughout all the other parts of the world that are now facing those droughts. Fantastic.
This is dried seaweed.
Like perfect spices. Wow. So now we can say à table, to the
Table.
tables.
Yes, to the tables.
Fantastic.
So, make a nice table here. Who's this rubbish on this table?
I think we... Thanks, Flang. That's a fantastic sulfur dish.
Yes.
It
you're
will taste
welcome.
perfect, and we have reduced also so much fresh water. So let's go. Here we go, guys.
Salut!
Salut.
Ik zit al een slok te nemen.
Proost.
Dit is de Friese wijn, hè? Zo, kom even. Klaar.
En mogen we nu eten?